શ્રી રામ જય રામ જય જય રામ ઓમ 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Swamiji light Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Om 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 Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama Om.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Ram. Today, so we are moving to the 8th chapter. All chapters are important by themselves, but 8th, a special mention has to be made because this is the chapter which deals with what happened at the time of death, What should be our attitude as devotees and spiritual aspirants? Whatever we are doing, it should have some corresponding effect on the last moment of our life. We are not conscious of it, but in this particular chapter, the Lord brings out what should be the mental attitude, what is the assurance He gives. Vinobaji has beautifully brought it out. Human life is full of samskaras. Innumerable actions are being continually done. There is really no end to them, right from morning till night. Even if we take a superficial look and count the activities done during the 24 hours, eating, drinking, sitting, walking, working, writing, speaking, reading, they would make a long list. Besides these, in life there are various dreams, sentiments, perceptions, like love and hate, honor and insult, joy and sorrow. All these make their impact on the mind, shape a man's personality and behavior. So I would say life means an aggregate of accumulated samskaras. A very important chapter for all of us.
இது வேர்டோட தக்க மாதிரி இல்லை.
Some sound, somebody has not muted.
Somebody's
mic is on.
Somebody's mic is on, please.
Anandashram's mic is on.
Anandashram mic is on. Anandashram mic. Okay.
No, it's
Let us therefore leave the samskaras. Very important point, very important point. We may not recognize, but it has a deep impact. Samskaras good as well as bad. And both of them influence our life. We hardly remember our childhood days. Samskaras from the former births are also completely erased, that one wonders whether one had any previous birth at all. When we cannot remember even the childhood days, why talk of previous births? Let us therefore leave them aside and think only of this birth. Even here, we do not remember all the actions. Many are the things done, many things known. In the end, most of them get erased, leaving behind only a few samskaras. If we try to recollect at bedtime all that we did during the day, we fail to do so. Only the most prominent incidents come before the mind's eye. For example, if we had a serious quarrel, we remember only that at night. That quarrel is the only thing of the day that is carried forward in the account book of our life. Important and conspicuous events leave strong impressions. The rest fade away. When we write a diary, we note therein only a few important things. When we review the week, we note even less. While reviewing the month, only the most important happenings therein are remembered. Many of those would also have forgotten while reviewing the year. Thus, very few things remain in memory and they form the samskaras. Most of the innumerable actions and much of what we have learned ultimately fade away, leaving only a small residue in the mind. Those actions and information and knowledge have done their work and disappeared. Only a few samskaras remain. And these samskaras are our capital. This is our net gain from the business of living. A trader keeps daily, monthly, annual accounts of income and expenditure and a figure of profit or loss. It is exactly the same with life. Addition and deletion of samskaras go on throughout the life, resulting finally in a particular net balance. When the end of life comes near, the self begins to think of the gains in life. Looking back, it finds that they are few. This does not mean that all that one did and all that one learned have proved to be futile. They have certainly done their work. There could be thousands of transactions in a trader's business, but a single final figure of either profit or loss is the net result. If there is loss, the heart sings. If there is a profit, he is happy. We too are in a similar position. If at the time of death, the mind craves for food, it is a clear indication of having spent the entire life in indulging the plain palate. Craving for food is then the only achievement in life. It is the only capital that has been accumulated in this life. If a mother thinks of her child at the time of death, it shows that her attachment to her child is the strongest samskara she has acquired in her life. Whatever else she did was secondary. In arithmetic, there are problems of fractions where addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of big figures ultimately result in a small figure or even zero. Likewise, the entire life of a man is an arithmetical exercise wherein addition, subtraction, multiplication and division of numerous samskaras go on continuously, and finally one strong samskara remains. That is the final answer of the equation of life. The thought that arises at the last moment in this life is the essence of the whole of one's life. It signifies what has been gained in this life. Everybody is hearing, enough?
Yes, Swamiji, very important for the transition state.
Very, very important, very important. This essence should be sweet. The last moment should be happy. A person should experience inner peace and fulfillment at the time of death. It is for this that one should endeavor throughout one's life. All is well that ends well. We should fix the mind on this final answer by solving the problem of life. We should plan the life with this aim in view. In a mathematical exercise, we have to keep the problem in mind, employ the appropriate method to solve it. Our life should be oriented in such a way that at the last moment, we shall have the samskara we want. Day and night, our whole attention should be turned in that direction. This is how the introduction gives to this particular chapter. Because Arjuna asked this question, and Lord addresses as the Akshara Brahma Yoga, the imperishable and the perishable, perishability of others. So when he keeps on telling, he says in the fifth chapter itself, fifth sloka, Antakalesha mameva smaran mukta kalevaram yaprayadi madbhavam yadi nastyatra samshaya. He who at the time of death meditating on me alone goes forth leaving the body attains my being. There is no doubt about this. And in 6th he says, whatever thought that predominates at the time of death, that you become. And therefore, he says, Tasmat Sarveshu Kaleshu. We cannot remember all that is noble and great suddenly, unless and until we try to create a samskara now and here. Always becoming positive, always becoming cheerful, always becoming contented, always trying to become full, trying to free ourselves from grumblings, complaints, mumblings, bullying. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmaridyacha mayarpida manobuddhir mamai vaishasya samshya. So he says here, at all times remember me and fight the battle of life with mind and intellect absorbed in me, you will doubtless come to me. So it is not to be reserved for the time of death. We will not remember. That is why whenever we have seen, suppose a devotee is at the last moment, we immediately go and play Ramnam. If the mind has been attuned to Ramnam, it will get some idea of Ramnam, the inspiring life of Mahatmas, the aim of Ramnam. Ramnam stands for what? Something will come. For which we have to now train the mind now itself. End is sure. So that is definite, no? When death finally comes, man begins to take stock of what he has on balance at the end of his life. Our condition is no different, but keeping in mind that life ultimately ends in death, we must constantly practice throughout our life the means by which we can make the last moment pure, sacred, happy. From this moment, we should be concerned with having the best of samskaras. Because he says one thing is certain, death is certain. The thought uppermost in mind at the time of death, which is the essence of what has been earned, is the provision with which we start our journey in the next birth. We begin a new day with the previous day's gains in hand. Death is like a long sleep, after which we begin a new life with the gains of the previous birth. End of this life is the beginning of the next one. Hence, one must always be aware of the inevitability of death while conducting oneself in this life. The moment we are born, we have booked a ticket to the destination called death. Whether we run or keep sitting, death is bound to come. Whether you think it or not, you cannot avoid it. Whatever else may be uncertain, death is certain. The sun sets every day, taking away a portion from our life. Life is continually being ignored. It is continually withering away. Still man takes no notice of it. So this chapter gives emphasis for that. And the 9 and 10 That also highlights Kavim Puranam Anishasitaram Manoraniyam Tamanasmarudde Sarvasya Dadaram Achintya Rupam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parastat Prayana Gale Manasa Achalena Bakriya Yuko Yoga Balena Cheva Dhruvo Madhye Pranam Aveshya Samyak Satam Param Purusham Upedi Divyam. Here he says, the omniscient, the ancient and the overruler, more minute than an atom, the sustainer of all, of form inconceivable, self-luminous like the sun, beyond the darkness of Maya, one who meditates on him thus. Papa keeps on repeating, while chanting you should remember the attributes. None of us were able to understand what he means. We were only repeating what he used to say. But the idea is, when we repeat the nama side by side with the attribute, that attribute becomes very much conspicuous, known to us. This is what he has given in this ninth sloka. Kavim Puranam Anushasitaram Manoraniyam. The omniscient, the ancient, the overruler, more minute than an atom, the sustainer of all, of form inconceivable, self-luminous like the sun, beyond the darkness of Maya, one who meditates on him, thus at the time of death, full of devotion, with the mind unmoving and also the power of yoga, fixing the whole prana between the eyebrow, such a one goes to the Supreme Purusha. Satam Param Purusham Upaidivya. We leave all these words. What we are trying to understand it, while living now, if we try to understand him, at least intellectually, he is the power, he is the very power behind this expression. He is the very power behind the hearing, behind the feeling that I amness is there. So that if I try to do that, then slowly, gradually, I will try to feel his presence with me always. So at the time of leaving this body, this sense of individuality might be able to think about that. That is what he has listed. Kavim Purana. The Lord explained the process by which one attains salvation. So it may not be possible for us to do that. But anyway, he has Sarvadvarani Samyamya, Mano Hridi Niruddhyacha. Controlling all the senses, confining the mind in the heart, drawing the prana into the head, occupied the practice of concentration, uttering the one syllable Om and meditating on me, one who so departs, leaving the body, attains the Supreme. Sarvadvarani Samyamya. എല്ലാ ഇന്ദ്രിയങ്ങളെയും അവയുടെ വിഷയങ്ങളിൽ നിന്ന് പിൻവലിച്ച് ഉള്ളിൽ ഒതുക്കി മനോഹൃതി നിരുദ്ധ്യച്ച മനസ്സിനെ ഹൃദയത്തിൽ സ്ഥിരമാക്കി മൂർധം ആധായാത്മന പ്രാണം ആസ്തിത്വോ യോഗധാരണം പ്രാണനെ മൂർധാവിൽ അടക്കി നിർത്തി ധ്യാനനിഷ്ഠനായി ഓമിത്യേകാക്ഷരം ബ്രഹ്മ വ്യവഹരൻ മാം അനുസ്മരൻ യപ്രയാതി ത്യജൻ ദേഹം സയാതി പരമാംഗതി. So this ultimate message is that somehow we should remember him intensely and pray to him At the time of you gave me this body, you gave me this sense of individuality. That also I did not know. But at least let me now, you have facilitated, you gave me the opportunity to know that you are behind it. You have given me the human birth. So let me try to remember this.
Swamiji, all this is fine if you die consciously.
If you are dying consciously.
Correct. Otherwise, no. If I am
When I am on a ventilator, Swamiji, if I am on a ventilator, but all the pumps on me, then I can't be thinking of anything.
So we should pray now to him. Even if you force me to make me that, please, before I slip into that unconscious state, I must remember you. We need not now bother that whether I am conscious at that time, whether I am urine anesthesia or some coma state, I may not be able to remember. So before I slip into this state, that means I should be very often, constantly means very often I should be able to remember. I need not think what will happen. That is not in our hands. Even if we don't want, others may put us on ventilator. Even if we don't, others will say you have the valves changed. They will, and you will be forced to because of their love, because of their concern for you. And though you know very well you are only postponing the date of death. So that is not in our hand. So all those things we cannot help. But we can help now ourselves by intensely remembering. Every object that you make me to see reminds me of you. Even my very life reminds me of you. Please bless me with this state of mind, so that even if I am conscious or unconscious, one devoted lady, who has been the ashram in her last years, suddenly she had this severe cardiac problem. She was taken to the hospital. I rushed up. She was in her last stage. Went to the ICU. So I caught hold of her hand and told her, "Do you remember anything about Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram?" Then she said, "No, pain is too much. Pain is too much. Can you think about the face of Papa? Face of something about ashram life. Something about the bhajans you did." She was staring at me, no doubt. But she said no, like this she was doing. So we were praying. At least you made us to go there and tell her this. At least some percentage of it will go inside, because the bodily pain may be very severe. That also you have given. But along with that pain, you may also try to bring in this dimension. That is all right, even if it's for a short time. So what is needed is, because of her this thing, sadhana, at least till early morning also she came for Ramnam. Ramnam 6 o'clock was starting. She was there at the time of Ramnam. And everything happened in 1 hour time. So when we did not know that she had, and when we were told she had been immediately taken to the hospital because of the gasping problem, then we rushed up. So the doctor said it's a question of few hours or a few minutes. And she passed away. So this we have to remember all these things.
Swamiji, will you be like that for me also?
Will you be there for us?
We pray that He is there always with us. He is there always with us, but we should remember Him, that's all. Whether it comes in this form or that form, that you don't bother. That nobody can assure, because where and when he decides, we have no clue. But at least we know he is with us. We don't have to search for him outside. And the proportionate to the intensity we have, he will somehow facilitate. What is more important is, we should know the inevitability of death. We all had good innings in our life. Now at the evening of our life, he is now making us to think about it rather than thinking about some other perishable objects. At least the imperishable he is making us to remember, So that means he has taken us into his fold. Now we again, and he is making us to hear this 8th chapter again and again and again and again. And one more important thing. Mamupetya punarjanam yukale mashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanam samsiddhim paramam gataha. That is also a very important one. Reaching the highest perfection and having attained me, one is free from rebirth, which is the home of pain and impermanence. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This world, if I have to declare that it is a dukkhalayam and ashashvatam, impermanent, I must keep on doing it. When Papa said be reflective, be meditative, we did not understand what he meant. We thought, we must sit in meditation. It is not like that. Now we know very clearly what he meant was, think about everything about the perishable nature, transient nature of the entire thing. And your job is to get fixed on the imperishable. Because in this particular sloka, he says, Mahubetya Punarjanmam. Controlling, reaching the highest and having attained me, one is free from rebirth. What is rebirth? Rebirth to the world again, samsara again, which is nothing but impermanent, and it has not given me any sustaining happiness, eternal happiness. Bluntly, Lord says, dukkhalayam. Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Dukkam niranjathum kshanabanguruvumaya വീണ്ടും ഒരു ജന്മത്തെ പ്രാപിക്കുന്നില്ല. So this 8th chapter, it keeps on hammering this. And in 16th he says, all the manifestations are subject to rerun, but after attaining me, there is no rebirth. So the choice is given to us, whether we want a rebirth or to become one with him. The choice is given to us. As it looks as if, though everything is prescripted, still in the drama he gives us a choice. So the best way is to remember and surrender to him. Enough is enough. Even a day I can understand. Sometimes I am happy, sometimes I am not happy. Not merely because of events and individuals. My own health will create problem for me, Climate can create problem. Food can create problem for me. And I become unbalanced, unsteady. Suppose I am a working person. The field in which I work, there also, if the people or events or objects or situation are not conducive or agreeable for me, I become upset. I may be getting a promotion order, I may be getting an increment, I am happy for the particular moment. After that again, what happens? I am happy with my children. After some time, what happens? When they grow up, are we in a position to keep up the same relationship with everybody? So this 8th chapter makes us to think about it. It doesn't mean that we have to hate the world. We have to love the world, knowing the impermanent nature. We have to love the world, knowing the impermanent nature. Just like, we are now in Calcutta, we know that on the such and such a date we have to leave this place. It doesn't mean that we are always thinking about it, missing the opportunities given here. We are enjoying, but all the time, part of the mind says on such and such a day you will have to leave. And this is possible also. We are not crying for that. So how to keep ourselves detached? God is giving us an opportunity. You are staying now, you are well looked after, you are provided with everything, you have a wonderful life, but still, this is not going to be there. Next Sunday, we will be away from this place. And we will not be sorry for it. Another type of experience comes. There also, we will know we have to get back to ashram on a particular day. And when we reach ashram, we know next program will be there on Thursday. Like that it goes on. So enjoy detached. Enjoy detached. Be positive but detached. Even this will pass away. Even this will pass away. Even this will pass away. That I have to keep on hammering. And so he keeps on hammering this. Whatever concept of time we have about lifetime, it is minuscule compared to the eternal. Manifested creation, unmanifested power, enlivening the creation, all pervading reality. 20. ഇന്ദ്രിയങ്ങൾക്ക് മനസ്സിനും വ്യക്തമായി കഴിയാതെ ഒരിക്കലും പറഞ്ഞു പോകാത്തതുമായ പരമം. Because the imperishable nature of the Purusha, that which remains, I think we will read that particular portion from Ranganathanji. Reaching which there is no return. What has been called unmanifested and imperishable has been described as the goal supreme. That is my highest state, having attained which there is no return. What has been called unmanifest? Avyaktokshara ityuktam. Alva.
Avyaktam aksharam
idyuktam. Tamahu paramam gadim yam prapyana nivartande tadhama paramam mama. Tadhamam. When we reach that state, having attained which there is no return, it is Sanatana. It remains when all other entities are destroyed. It is Akshara, imperishable. So we have in this sloka the wonderful reaching which there is no return. Earlier we had come across the word Avasha, helpless, in verse 19. 19, what was it? Udagrama.
Udagrama sa evayam bhutva
Udagrama sa evayam, alva. भूत्वा भूत्वा प्रलीयते
रात्र्यागमे
रात्र्यागमे वश
रात्र्यागमे अवश
रात्र्यागमे अवश पार्थ प्रभवत्य हरागमे. Meaning, the very same multitude of beings merge in spite of themselves at the onset of night and come out again on the onset of day. Here are the two ideas. That is very revolting to one idea is that Bhudagram, the entire world of cosmic entities and beings, they are the same and get into existence, get involved back into primordial state. At the onset of night of Brahma, Krishna uses the word avasha, alva.
Compulsion or they have no control.
Compulsion
or they have no control.
Ratriyagame avasha, alva. Avasha. So anyway, let us not bother about this. Most important is somehow I should remember him. Somehow I should remember him. Whatever meritorious effect is declared to accrue from the Vedas, above all these rises the yogi, having known this and attains to the supreme abode, here and now. There are only 29 slokas. 28. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu jaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam. Atyedita sarvam idam viditva yogi param sthanam upedi chatyam. Upedi chatyam. ഈ തത്വം പറഞ്ഞ യോഗി വേദങ്ങൾ, യജ്ഞങ്ങൾ, തപസ്, ദാനങ്ങൾ ലഭിക്കുന്ന എല്ലാ പുണ്യഫലങ്ങളെയും അതിക്രമിച്ച് പരമമായ ബ്രഹ്മപദത്തെ പ്രതി. നീ എല്ലാ സമയത്തും യോഗയുക്തനായിരിക്കുക. Previous stanza also he says, the yogi is expounded by the Gita in these words. The word yogi is applied to anybody and everybody who has lived a spiritual life, even a little. But the Gita has given in the second chapter two wonderful expositions. Yoga karmasu kaushalam, samatvam yoga muchyate. Many other such definitions will come later. The Gita's yogi is quite different. How? Oh Arjuna, knowing the nature of these two paths, the yogi of the Gita, he is not deluded at all. By this path, you go slowly, but you reach the goal. By the other path, you go and return. Everybody should hear this. No? By this path, you go slowly, and you reach the goal. The other path, you go and return. Gita yogi is not deluded by either of them. Tasmat, therefore, sarveshu kaleshu. Arjuna, be a yogi at all times. That is the central theme of the Gita. That through work, through human relations, realizing the truth in the heart of all, you realize the truth here itself. You take the name of the divine, and at the time of death, you achieve the highest human experience thereby. None of these paths are necessarily there. So that is the greatness of the next chapter, the 9th chapter, which is very famous. And as we enter it, we shall see that the language used also indicates its special nature. You take the name of the divine, and at the time of death, you achieve the highest human experience thereby. Naide Sruti Partha Jananana Yogi Mukhyati Kashana Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Yoga Yukdo Bhavarjuna. So this is how he closes. There are only 28, but this is very, very hammering, very, very, very thought-provoking, because this reality all of us are going to face, either today or tomorrow, or this year or next year, or this decade or next decade. So, the purpose of going through these shlokas, we now take it, that the urgency in us. No? Always think about this last day. It doesn't mean that we get demotivated to bring out creative, noble, productive ideas. Let that go on as He prompts you from within. But along with that, somewhere in the corner of the mind, this also should be there. So that whatever promptings He gives, we know it is His prompting. In a detached way, we will be able to be dynamic, we will be active, but at the same time, we are conscious of the ultimate end of this sense of individuality. This sense of individuality. This is something very, very important. That is why once when we were hearing Haridas Giri Maharaj's discourse, there he was telling us, we don't know where we have kept it, but somewhere it is there. Sundara? Oh, sorry. Yes, the Haridas Giri Maharaj, I have kept some Haridas Giri message. Get it in there. Not video. Very good. Haridas Giri.
English.
Das, yes. Giri. Hari? No. Today also I saw Hari Krishna. Haridas Giri. According to Swami Haridas Giriji, God wants us to hear these words, from somewhere. Chanting of God's name should not be done in a casual way. Rather, it has to be rendered with utmost Shraddha and Bhakti. He exhorts us to submit totally to the divine during chanting, while keeping the following dimensions in the heart. Number one, O Lord, I honestly believe that you are the only eternal reality. I honestly believe that there is an unbreakable connection between you and me. Why will I remember you, and how will you remember me otherwise, if there is no connection? Needan enna nenaipiya, needan enna padaipiya, naandan enna nenaipiya. I don't know for what reason you created me or why I was born. Though everybody says that everything happened due to Maya, I don't know anything about it. I don't know how long this will last. When I try to remember you, only worldly thoughts well up in my mind again and again. And the connection between you and me is lost. When I pray to you, what dominates my thought is the welfare of me and my kith and kin only, my nearest and dearest. I know that all these are impermanent. Yet something makes me forget this reality. I cannot fathom why this happens to me. When my father and all other family members left this world, I know that no one followed them. I also know that one day I too will have to leave this world. I now realize that nothing is permanent and you are the only everlasting one. I should therefore be one with you. And the beautiful word in Tamil, inaikkam. Nee enna inaikkanam. So before I leave this body, you should bless me with your vision and hold my hand to take me unto you. Then he closes, With this bhavana you chant. Once again you read, O Lord, I honestly believe that you are the only eternal reality. I honestly believe that there is an unbreakable connection between you and me. Otherwise, why will I remember you? How you will remember me otherwise? I don't know for what reason you created me or why I was born. Though everybody says that everything happens due to Maya, I don't know what is that Maya. And I also don't know how long this will last. When I try to remember you, only worldly thoughts well up in my mind again and again. The connection between you and me is lost. When I pray to you, what dominates my thought is the welfare of me and my kith and kin and dearest and friend. Still I don't remember. You should bless me at the last moment. I am not asking at all. I know that all these are impermanent. Yet something makes me forget this reality. I cannot fathom why this happens to me. When my father and all other family members, he says, tata, that part, grandmother, grandfather, great-grandmother, all my elders, even many friends, even in their childhood days, they have left this world. And I know that no one followed them. I also know that one day I too will have to leave this world. And the peculiarity is all of us join in so many funerals, And nowadays, God has, through the science and technology, electric crematorium. Otherwise, previously it takes about 4 to 5 hours. Now you just, that cradle or whatever you call it, the body is in. And in no time, after 1 or 2 hours, our present body is brought in the form of ashes and kept it in a mudka and the label. And so in the afternoon we can go and collect it. And according to our faith, we go to the nearest Punya Nadi and then immerse. Last week also it happened in Coimbatore. They were telling in 1 hour or 2 hours they got it. And they went to the nearest Nadi there. Previously it was very difficult, Third day only we can have the, Sanjayanam. Even in ashram when somebody dies, usual our traditional way of lighting the fire. And third day we go there, collect the ashes and then go to Tirkana and then immerse it. Or those who have specific sentiments to have it done in Bankanga, or when somebody goes there, we send them and do it. All these things we take part, we meticulously do it. Even in our Puja Swamiji's case, we all did it. We ensure that all the 7, excepting Sindhu, all other nadis, Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, we have no idea, Kaveri, Krishna, and in Kerala also Tirunavaya, all Prayag, everywhere we went and did that. Hardly thinking that one day I am going to follow suit. This is called Maya, When she says, I know all these are impermanent, yet something makes me forget this reality. And why it happens, I don't know. I also know that one day I too will have to leave this world. I now realize that nothing is permanent and you are the only everlasting one. We can't say that we are totally unaware because people who have got wealth, position, so many things, they write their will, after my lifetime they should do it, in order to avoid any complication. Some do like that. They leave a will so that the coming generation will not be put to problems. Vyavaharic level. Even at that time we don't remember that we should remember God. We do at the Vyavaharic state, no? That is also His. But we should know Him also, no? Suppose we add many devotees leave their will and give us a copy also. We have also drafted will for many people. But this particular aspect has not been mentioned. One day I have to leave. You should bless me with your remembrance. However, you made me to acquire certain things, and you are prompting me now to make the disposition so that your other form will not be in trouble in the Laviga Vyavaharic level. Like that, He is prompting us to write that will, that dimension has not come. These are something to be well thought of. As spiritual children of Papa, who has now facilitated us to hear this 8th chapter, somehow to make it a reality in our life. We are thinking about so many things, planning about so many things, but somewhere in the corner of the heart, this also should be there. Na? I should therefore be one with you. So before I leave this body, you should bless me with your vision and hold my hand to take me unto you. And why this particular prayer has got its own weight? The Mahatma who drafted this, who shared this in a Istanbul, in a Satsang, his end, we were told, if you remember right exactly, in Uttarkashi or Rishikesh or somewhere, on the banks of Ganga, he was having the satsang, and then suddenly he went and became one with the Ganga. Nobody knew, everybody was seeing. God prompted him to offer himself to Jalasamadhi. Normally after death, somebody else offers to Jalasamadhi. In Rishikesh there is a particular place. There's a particular place. There's a particular place. He was talking on the banks, and suddenly he gets up and then offers himself. So it was he who says this, I should therefore be one with you. So before I leave this body, you should bless me with your vision and hold my hand to take me unto you. So when we read this, we were visualizing that. We were not there, but we were told about all these details. So we visualized how the indwelling reality prompted him to offer his body to Mother Ganga so that he will become one with the cosmic reality. He did not say, he did not share, he did not make any vanity. After that, naturally, there will be commotion. Okay. And if you remember right, the body also would not be. So he became one with it. So he has actualized this, And this, if we remember right, he shared this in a satsang, must be 5 or 10 years prior to it. We may be able to locate, to identify. We have that in our date also we may get. Anyway, we are not much worried about it. What I am right? 94.
4th September 1994. Rudraprayag.
When did he utter this? In 94, this happened. It's Rudraprayag. Must be in early 90s or late 80s. So I should therefore be one with you. I should therefore be one with you. I should therefore be one with you. So before I leave this body, you should bless me with your vision, hold my hand to take me unto you. God has also made us to witness some people declaring it, and then he said nobody should make any fuss. I had done what is to be done. God has given me everything. One of the devotees, one of the devotees of ashram, staying very near ashram. He had cancer, and when we had gone there, if you remember, it was in 2008, the last day of Puja Swamiji's dialysis. When it failed, we were taking him from the hospital to the ashram. At that time, somebody immediately came and whispered that the person staying next to the hospital, he wants us to see. So after dropping Swamiji at the ashram, we rushed back. He came out to receive us. Then he told us as casually that the days are approaching. I have told all my family members, everything has been done. Every day morning he used to come for flower offering. Ramnam. So you should bless me to keep this Ramnam. Immediately, at that time, luckily there was a pillow. There was a pillow where, when you put your head there, it will be on. Ramnam will be on. Immediately it was sent. So that we requested him to put so that with the Ramnam. And exactly on that day, midnight, he told his wife, time has come, he has to go to toilet, and from there he dropped the body. So it is not that these are reserved only for Mahatmas, It's everybody, because God is equal in everybody. Only constant remembrance, which is also because of His grace. But at this level, we can say our constant remembrance. Though everything is prescripted, because He has given us a role to play, now He has given us an opportunity to discuss all these things. Now He has asked us, now He is prompting us to think in terms of remembering Him at the time of death. We should do something. He has given us this. Though He has not given us any freedom, He has given us the sense of freedom. We choose to remember. I don't know, He says, I want to become, I should therefore be one with you. Before I leave this body, you should bless me with your vision and hold my hand to take me unto you.
Swamiji, whether Yama will have any kind of disease and thereby he sent?
Whether he will do any mistake or...
He will not create any mischief. We are the mischief makers.
No, there is no end for Yama.
We are not mischief maker our own mind, Suddenly the priority gets shifted. And if because of our prarabdha, our bodily pain overtakes our feeling, naturally we will be thinking about the pain. But we have seen, even our Kannamamma, the last day before he dropped the body, he was telling, please pray to take me. That contentment is there. Now somehow I want to survive. No. He will always say, when I go to his room, he will always say, pray for the earlier days, pray for the earlier days. So that means in his mind he was also praying for earlier days. Raghuramji, while chanting his name, all the way he came from Pune and then he dropped the body. There are many incidents. So the sadhana is definitely paying. God parades before us many such incidents. Junior Janaki, who was supposed to be, not supposed to be, who was taking care of Puja Mataji. After Mataji's Samadhi only. She was in Mataji's room. Always poised, always contented, always. She will not say anything. Later on, Puja Swamiji used to say, she is always like that. Nothing she will ask, only seva, with love. She calls everybody Amma. Even to Puja Swamiji, she calls Amme. I have seen that. So she one day morning after the flower offering, she suddenly, had a blackout in Mataji's room. So that means she was there, otherwise she would have come out, And another devotee who came, who was not a regular visitor, who was sitting very near the mango tree, just before Mataji's room. He sat there in the morning, dropped the body. So there are many such instances by which God is making us to remember. See, I can provide all these things, provided you intensely pray for this. Many. So, we will take this message very seriously, today's message. Because it is God to do something and fully with everything. I should therefore be one with you. I now realize that nothing is permanent and you are the only everlasting one. So, therefore I leave the body, you should bless me with your vision and hold my hand to take me unto you. So when we are talking about death, people, we need not be under the impression that it will demotivate us. Certainly not. We will be dynamic, creative, useful, active. But all the time, when we keep this impermanent nature of the body, we will be detached. Outwardly, we will be involving, but inwardly, we will be detached. That also should be clear to everybody. Not that we have to retire from any field of activities and waiting for the death. It may be for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. We have to be active now, no doubt about it. But at the same time, be detached. Let somewhere in the corner, you are going to take me. You have given me the life, you are going to take it away from me, but at that time you make me to remember you. So let this be writ large in our mind. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Yesterday there was